Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm KJ, by the way, and today we are back with another reaction video, so sit back, grab a snack, and let's go. Alright guys, you've read the title. We're reacting to the most expensive high school in America. Let's just see how much these schools cost. I would think they rank right on up there with colleges, but let's see.
Number 5. The Oxford Academy. Any boarding school that has academy in the name is pretty much reserved for those who have parents with Swiss bank accounts. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, the Oxford Academy is no exception, with an annual tuition of $67,000 per year. Located in Westbrook, Connecticut, you might want to add 20 or 30 bucks onto that tuition cost to buy your kid a jacket for the cold winters there, or maybe even a couple $100. After all, Westbrook is one of the richest cities in America. You don't want to be walking around in anything knockoff. The Oxford Academy was originally founded as an all-boys school by a psychologist who wanted alternative learning options for students who were struggling or falling through the cracks because of standard educational methods. Now, the Oxford Academy still serves that purpose, providing individualized learning to the boys who attend. With only 48 students at a time, the school is able to provide a one-on-one student-to-faculty ratio. A day at the Oxford Academy involves classes.
Partially a good thing, though.
The one-on-one ratio?
Yeah, due to the fact that they only have like 48 boys there at a time. I mean, that's pretty good, because a big problem with public school is the sheer class size. All over the place now, we're dealing with overcrowding. And I know at times when I was in school, it was difficult sometimes. If you needed help, I mean, the teacher would come over and help
and
you.
Give you 2 seconds of his time and
2
move
seconds
on
though.
to the next student.
Right? And I asked for help once. He said it. I still didn't really get it. And he just had to go and help another student. So I had to fake like I was going to be all right, even though I wasn't. So
In, well, anything you can imagine. Music classes in collaboration with Berkeley, European history, and even programming and coding classes. But the education doesn't stop when classes do. There's a strict schedule students must adhere to after school, and it looks something like this. From 3:30 to 4:40, students must take part in a sport of their choosing, which can include sailing on the actual ocean, airsoft, or your run-of-the-mill sports. From 4:30 to 5:35, students can continue with sports or return to their dorm to shower and relax if they so choose. From 5:35 to 6 o'clock is the most exciting time of the day, newspaper reading. A long-standing tradition, students are required to read the newspaper before dinner.
who reads the newspaper these days?
Well, annual.
Those kids.
But why are they required to read it? Like, I've done just fine in life, and I don't think I've ever taken the time to read a newspaper.
I guess to learn about worldly events and things that are happening around the world. Who knows? That's their requirement. And for that $67,000 a year that I'm paying for you to be there, you're going to read that newspaper too. I might have your behind read it word for word, page to page to page to page. You're going to read something for that $67,000 a year. You ain't going to sit up here and fake like you ain't reading the newspaper.
We get it. I'd have to read the newspaper. But I just don't see the
It
point.
begins at 6,
You ain't
and the
slacking
dinner
off my
is something to look forward to.
$67,000.
There's a private chef on campus who cooks food that is all locally sourced, so you don't have to worry about eating frozen pizza or cheese sticks. From 6:30 to 7:30, students are given free time. They can head off campus to romp about in town, play in the recreational hall, or just relax in their dorm rooms. For the rest of the night, students do study hall, where they catch up on homework and wind down. And at 10:30, it's lights out. I'm a bit exhausted just reading that all out. I must say, though I loved my boarding school.
For such a prestigious sounding school, I have to wonder about the workload. Because after classes, it sounds like they spend so much time, doing other things after classes, to where that little window of homework. Yeah, he mentioned the homework portion of the schedule, but I mean, depending on the workload, it doesn't sound like it's enough.
And maybe that's why there's the one-on-one
Maybe.
student-teacher ratio.
School experience. I much prefer the freedom to lounge by the pool and do nothing all day that I have now. Number 4, the Woodhall School, $74,500. We don't have to travel far to visit the next boarding school on our list. In Bethlehem, Connecticut, you'll find the Woodhall School, which costs a startling $74,500 per year. The promise to
Universities around the world.
I feel like the best universities can kind of be a scam though, because we're telling our kids to go to these schools and they're overpriced and you know, but you can get just as good of an education learning the same exact thing somewhere cheaper.
Well,
And that's why we have such a huge debt problem now.
the snooty rich don't care about that.
They don't.
treat boys as individuals rather than labels. The Woodhall School keeps a small class size of only about 42 students. Each class has between 2 to 5 students, meaning the boys attending the school get very individualized
2 to
care.
5.
And that individualized care happens in classes that cover astronomy, investment, philanthropy, music, and social media. I mean, how rich do you have to be to have an actual class on philanthropy? The campus is 25 acres of woodlands, ponds, and dormitories in a rural, cozy setting. There are volleyball courts, a private movie theater, boats for fishing on the pond, and a rock climbing wall to keep the students entertained. My school was a bit fancy, but it sure didn't have a rock climbing wall. Meals are cooked by a professional chef who only uses locally sourced ingredients, but dinner isn't a casual affair. Students are required to wear jackets and ties to dinner 4 nights a week. On the weekends, students at the Woodhall School are allowed to cut loose. They're given permission to head into town and go to the movies, go shopping, or eat at a local restaurant. Number 3, the Quad Prep.
That sounds amazing. Man, the things you can do with some money. That sounds cool.
Preparatory School. If that rustic New England vibe doesn't appeal to some people, the Quad Preparatory School is a totally different environment. Located in downtown Manhattan, right next to Wall Street, the school comes with a very Manhattan price tag, costing $74,850 per year. The Quad Preparatory School is a standout on our list for another reason. It isn't just a high school. The school has several buildings to educate elementary, middle, and high school students. There is a focus on teaching students who are twice exceptional. This applies to students who struggle with social or executive functioning and also have a gift or a talent in a specific area. In addition, there's a strong focus on preparing students for success at prestigious universities. Students are required to attend weekly.
I guess, I mean,
I hate to say I told you so,
I
but
know.
guess what?
I just don't see the point in all these big name schools. I don't.
Weekly sessions with a college counselor and bi-weekly sessions with academic advisors. Each student is given an individualized learning plan with specific goals and course instructions based on their needs, which is updated quite frequently. It's safe to say this is a rather different experience from public schools. The campus has a Zen zone where students can unwind and relax, as well as several recreational rooms which provide safe, fun places for them to interact. After class, there are dozens of clubs available to students, including Anime Club, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, and Model UN. Number 2, Foreman School, $78,600 per year. Well, back to Connecticut we go for the Foreman School, which costs an incredible $78,600 per year. Located in
For some of the best education is in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Now I see what they're talking about.
No, I do too. Because I always thought, oh, okay, they just have teachers doing their jobs well, yada
Right,
yada.
right.
But no,
Nah.
everything's prestigious. And if you have money, which it sounds like Connecticut is nothing but money, you can have access to some really bougie educations. Now I know what they mean.
Litchfield. The school caters to students who are diagnosed with ADD and ADHD, offering them a learning environment that is catered to their needs. The school's goal is to give students the tools they need to excel in university, which isn't as often understanding of learning disabilities. There are 230 students on campus with a 3.5 to 1 student-to-faculty ratio, ensuring each student gets individualized care. And there are plenty of options for the children attending the school school to do what they enjoy as individuals. Located on a 125-acre campus, the school has a robotics lab, an ingenuity lab, tennis courts, and athletic facilities. Within the forest, there's an environmental hut that serves as a research station and provides environmentally focused classes, though during winter, it is most often used to warm up after ice skating. Students are required to either do a sport or work in the Lion's Den, a restaurant on campus, 6 days a week. There, they can learn culinary skills, which puts them well ahead of every roommate I had back in the day. Though the school has a rather strict schedule with students, it gives them plenty of options to get involved in, well, whatever they'd like. From robotics to early childhood education, there are courses that give students an upper hand before heading to college. For 2 weeks in March, Foreman School offers an educational experience of the individual's choice. Last year, there was a genealogy program, a filmmaking program, a history of rock and roll program, and even a program called Ingenuiski, where students create their own snowboard or skis from scratch. For those students that have a little more money, there are options to travel to the Galapagos Islands to learn about Darwin, to go fly fishing.
Galapagos Island and fly fishing.
Theodore, get our Speedos! Yeah!
Vacay.
Shoot.
Wow. I didn't know there were high schools that provided all of this.
Right.
Man.
It don't matter because mine wasn't paying for it anyway, so it didn't do me any good to know that high
That's
schools
true.
like this existed back in the day. Cause,
Same here.
my people weren't paying for it, but they'll
No.
brag about my XXX, comma XXX, period XX $1,000 a year job, but they still ain't paying for this.
Right? They're not. They're not. They're really not.
In
Man.
Tennessee, or even to travel to New Orleans to learn about Southern cooking. Number 1, Short Ridge Academy. The most expensive high school in the country is none other than Short Ridge Academy, located in Milton, New Hampshire. To attend school on this 350-acre prestigious campus, you'll have to cough up $85,000 per year. For the full
Close enough.
Not as bad as I thought, because I thought that this one would be 90 or $100,000.
high school experience, that's a whopping $340,000. Shortridge Academy prides itself on being a therapeutic school. Mental health is a huge focus in their teaching and campus policies. And with only 50 students attending at a time, the academy can ensure each student is taken care of properly. Every person attending the school has their own mental health counselor and academic counselor who work to create a successful plan for them. 3 weekly sessions of physical education are mandatory because the school believes in the importance of exercise. However, students are given a choice in what activity they'd like to participate in. These activities can range from jiu-jitsu to weightlifting to nature hiking.
Hey,
That's cool.
that's what's up.
Yeah. Oh my.
Just playing.
That's pretty cool.
That is, yeah.
That is. I think I have heard of schools having jujitsu. I think I have, but they weren't this expensive.
In addition to mandatory physical education, students are also required to take part in an off-campus activity weekly. These activities include bowling, laser tag, whale watching, apple picking, dinner theater, lake cruises, and
I know what I would do.
Aww.
I'm either playing laser tag or I'm doing dinner theater, and I'm only there for the dinner. There for dinner.
animal sanctuary trips. On-campus activities are also incredibly frequent and encouraged, and they include bonfires, parties, trivia nights, poetry readings, and wild animal presentations, whatever those are. Now, the campus probably sounds a bit more like summer camp than a high school. However, there are several advanced classes available on campus, as well as elective classes that go a bit above and beyond. Their music classes, for example, give students access to a full professional recording studio whenever they'd like to use it. Tech is also big on campus, but it is heavily monitored. Students are given a MacBook Pro and an iPhone when they arrive on campus, but
Oh, I get an iPhone. That's amazing. A
I'm sure
MacBook.
it's not for personal use, so
The
it's still
internet
cool.
use is strictly limited and monitored. I don't know about you, but I like my privacy. So, there you have it. The most expensive high schools in America. Which one would
Wow. They all sounded cool and bougie. Some of them were for all boys, so I mean, that disqualifies me right off the bat.
Right.
But, I mean, for the ones that are for both
Co-ed.
genders, co-ed, yeah, I mean, sounds kind of cool. I would do the school that allows you to travel. Yes, jet set to the islands or something. Yes, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Let us know. Have y'all heard of any of these schools?
Have you attended any of these schools?
Yeah, where are the rich viewers at? Let us know. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see y'all in our next one. Bye, y'all.